It's actually not hard to be rich. What is more strategic is to be wealthy. And here's what the difference is. Being rich is making a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. You can work your butt off and make a lot of money. You can ignore your family and make a lot of money. You can be constantly working and doing and making a lot of money. I used to be rich. I am no longer rich. I'm wealthy. And that's what I teach you now. When you have true wealth, that's when you have the freedom. That's when you let your money work for you. That's when you let things make you money while you're luxuriating, while you're doing things with your kids, while you're exploring the world, while you're sitting on your ass eating white cheddar popcorn, whatever it may be. That's true wealth, is when you have the freedom component. And the best way to do it that anyone can do, and I started at a very young age. You can start at it later in life. It doesn't matter. It's a compound effect, and that's passive income, and I'm teaching that to you today. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multi-millionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, and you're getting a look today behind the scenes of a multi-millionaire entrepreneur, which, by the way, that is me. I don't know, that feels so normal to say that, which is wild given that I used to make $17,000 a year and ate top ramen probably 5 nights a week. Yeah. And then the other 2 nights when I would go out, I would definitely be hitting up guys to buy me drinks and maybe some wings. Buy a sister some wings. Thank God I knew how to work it, man, because those appetizers, that can really break the bank. On average, I make about $10,000 a week passively. So some weeks are way more, some weeks are less. So I'm just giving you the average number. And let me just give you the tea on how all of this works and break it down inside this episode so you can stop wondering how people are doing it and how you can accumulate that level of wealth, why it is you see me traveling all the time, doing nothing most of the time, creating fun content, working when I feel like it. Why I can do that is because of the wealth that I built. This did not happen overnight. I set myself up for this, but from learning how to do this for myself and helping thousands of other people do it, I can cut through all the crap and just give it to you straight. So while all of this sounds super sexy, making 5 figures a week while you're doing no work, I mean, who wouldn't want to wake up to payment notifications and fresh cash in the bank, right? Everyone wants this, but few are willing to do what actually works. It's no different than admiring another person's fit physique, like wishing you were that lean or your stomach was that flat. Well, you can have it too if you dedicated the time and created the discipline to follow through on the necessary things on repeat, but most people don't. Yet you still long for those abs, but it ain't going to happen if you don't do the things that it takes to get there. The freedom level cash and lifestyle I've created is equally available for you right now as it is for me. If it was super easy, painless, and fast, you would have already done it. So that doesn't mean I want you to attach it in your ego of this is going to be so hard and oh my God, you have to have a business, master's in business to do this or be really good with numbers. I'm not good with numbers. I know how to count and stack cash. That's what's on my LinkedIn profile. Here's what you have to be willing to do. Let's start there, and then you can decide if that's something that you want to pursue. And if you don't, it's okay. but stop longing for that freedom level cash if you're not willing to do what it takes. Now, before I go into this, I want to remind you that coming up on Black Friday is my biggest Black Friday sale of all time. You are not going to want to miss this because what I'm putting on sale has exclusive bonuses, over $2,000 in bonuses. And this is something that will teach you how to do these types of things that we're going into on the episode today on passive income. So the best way to make sure you don't miss out on this sale is to be on my email list, which is my Secret Posse Weekly Digest. And that has exclusive content too. That's where I teach my manifestation tricks, my millionaire mindset exercises, plus I share a lot of personal stories on there that you won't get anywhere else. You swipe up, that link is in the bio, so make sure you get on that list so you don't miss my biggest sale of all time. Here is what you have to be willing to do if you want to make a crap ton of money with passive income. Number one, start at the bottom and be willing to learn from someone who's done it. You have to be humble and willing to learn. If you want to teach it to yourself, you certainly can, but it could even take you a full decade to really master it. And that's quite frankly how long it took me doing it myself, because I didn't find anybody or know of anybody who could have taught it to me. Number two, have proof of concept on making active income in your business before trying to make it passively. So if you're trying to add passive income streams to your brand, to your business right now, whether it's a brick and mortar business, whether it's a service-based business, whether you're an influencer, I think that's great that you're wanting to do that. That's wonderful. But if you are not able to sell your stuff consistently with your active offers, meaning your service-based offers, maybe it's group coaching, maybe it's a membership, maybe it's, website design, custom design, whatever it is. If you aren't able to do that consistently, why would anyone buy it from you passively if they're not buying it from you actively? You have a messaging problem and an offer packaging problem, and likely a profitable content problem. Those have to be solved first, or you're going to lose your mind and create courses, create ebooks. You're going to create all this crap, and you're going to hope that it sells because you're not following any kind of proven strategy, and you're going to spend all your time doing it and be really upset when you get no one or almost no one buying if you aren't already there now. Most clients who come to me have, I call it a graveyard course. They have a self-paced course in the graveyard that they've poured a ton of time, energy, and money into, and no one is buying it. And I can tell within usually 10 seconds of looking at their digital assets on why. And it's not because your course isn't great. It's not because you're not talented at what you do. It has to do with your messaging and marketing and presentation of that thing. Number three, understand that passive income requires upfront effort in order to cash in for years and years and years after that initial effort. So passive income doesn't mean no effort. There's people out there that are doing that fantasy marketing, trying to sell you on it because they probably sell a self-paced course, which is how they make their passive income, is teaching you how to make passive income. And then they use fantasy marketing, making it look so easy and no problemo, and this is all you have to do. And passive income requires upfront work that you make money on for even decades to come. I have some passive income offers that I've been making money off from 10 years. I have passive income investments and I've been making money off from, for 20 years. So it's worth the effort, but don't think that there isn't an upfront cost for a long-term benefit and gain. Number four, take risks on repeat. Be willing to experiment and try new things, knowing they could possibly not work, but you want to stack the odds in your favor that they will. So not all of my passive income offers that I've created over the years were big winners where I cashed in. Some were total flops. Some just trickled in money. Some were huge wins. Not everything you touch is going to turn to gold. So if you get pissed off Of course I get pissed off when it doesn't work because we create things and we want it to work. But if you go into it with the expectation or the mindset of this better work, I need this to work, this must work, guess what? I could guarantee you, I would put money on it that it won't work. You have to go into it with a mindset of a true entrepreneur and not an employee mindset, but an entrepreneur mindset. And an entrepreneur mindset is, okay, based on customer feedback, based on great market research that I've done, based on my talents and my skills and what excites me, I feel that blank, like an ebook series, would be great for my audience. So let's experiment with that. So you're stacking the odds in your favor. You've pulled your audience. You feel that there's really a need for it. They seem to be really into consuming written content of yours, organic content of yours already. So it's likely that they'll pay for it because they've been trained and they want more of it. So you've stacked the odds in your favor. And then you go and take all this time to write these ebooks, make them look pretty, put them on Amazon, create a sales page, do all this stuff. And then you make like $200 off it. Yeah, it is frustrating and it's maddening. And that's part of the passive income game. It's no different than buying stocks. There's a reason why when you work with financial institutions that they diversify you. So you have some stocks in medical, some stocks in tech, some stocks in automotive, some stocks in commodities. They do that because some will be doing well, some won't. If you put all your eggs in one basket and it doesn't work, that's not good. You're in trouble. Sometimes I've seen clients have a hit right out of the gate. And that's wonderful. And we've seen it even with authors where they'll like put out their first book and it's a hit out of the gate, like Eat, Pray, Love, major hit out of the gate. I don't even know the names of her other books. And I'm not saying they're not good, but nowhere near the hit of the first one. You know, same with musicians. They have a compilation of songs on their albums. Not all of them are a hit. Sometimes there's only one hit on there. Sometimes they only have one hit for their entire career, but they're living down here at the beach with an ocean view in a multi-million-dollar house doing just fine on that one-hit wonder song from the 80s. So it's okay if you only have one hit. You only need one or two. You don't need to have all of them work. And the thing is, when you try stuff and it doesn't work, that leads you closer to figuring out what does. Now, just because it doesn't work and you've done things and no one's bought them, that doesn't mean that they couldn't work. Again, I don't know how you have it packaged, how you were promoting it, how you were sharing it. Have you created branding and messaging that makes it exciting and makes people eager to buy it? So I always have to look at that first. But if you've done all those things and it still doesn't work, that's okay. It's okay. Just like big multi-billion-dollar clients I work with, L'Oreal, Nabisco, Kraft, these companies have, they have thousands of SKUs, tons of SKUs, and they only really have the top 10% of their products are making 90% of their profits. So I want you to think about that when it comes to your passive income offers. It's really similar with the stock market. 10% of your portfolio is making you 90% of the money at any given time. So you might be going, oh my God, now I have to create all these things and I'm going to have 25 things out there. No, you do it over time. It's the compound effect. So maybe you try an ebook, then you do a course, then maybe you do some kind of a paid printable, then maybe you want to get into having vending machines, or maybe you want to get into having a rental property. Maybe you want to have physical products in a store. Maybe you want to try being an Amazon influencer and picking products there. Maybe you want to be a social seller. Try different things and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I can tell you that the things that for sure didn't work for me were things where I was just putting it together to make money, where I was money hungry. where the greed took over, and we all have it. Whereas people have been asking for this and I'm not like super into it. I know they'll buy it. No, because your energy behind you sharing about it and presenting it, even in your marketing and messaging behind it, people can feel that it's just not your vibe. And if you're not wildly excited about what you're putting together, why would anyone be wildly excited to buy it? You got to think about it that way. But let me share with you just some different ideas for passive income, because I've mentioned some, but you might have heard of some of those. And I want to just get your wheels turning, and go listen to my Season of Abundance, my new guided walking meditation series. Listen to that and be in that relaxed state. That's when you're going to get the most clever and creative ideas, not when you're sitting there like a spaz banging on your computer, or when you're trying to force yourself to think of something right now. I would rather you like go to the grocery store, do something different, and then those ideas come to you. All right, here are some options. So you can also flip retail products. I used to do this big time. I don't do it as much now. So you can buy like white label products, or you can buy products that are already out there for cost and then sell them at full price and have an Amazon store. You can do it on eBay. You can always simply Google this kind of stuff. You can sell your content online. So you can sell your photography, you can sell your videos, you can sell your artwork to be used, you can sell your graphics, you can sell templates. This digital stuff is a big deal. People love buying stuff like that. You can create an app. I have a lot of fitness people who are really looking into that, and it doesn't have to be some complex app. You can have one of the memberships on right through Instagram. They have memberships now. You can do an OnlyFans account. OnlyFans is not just for sex workers. OnlyFans has a lot of different types of people on there. You can even rent out your car when you're not using it. You can Google how to do that. You can sell website templates online. Do you remember when it was really hot for people to sell filters? People were selling pre-done filters online. Anything that someone can click and buy in another country while you're sleeping would be approved by me. So I just want you to think out of the box. Go on Etsy, start scrolling around, just check to see what people outside of your niche and your industry are doing. That's when you're going to get some really interesting ideas, plus making sure you allow yourself that free brain thinking space when you're taking a bath, doing an abundance walk. That link's in my bio, by the way. You're doing some nonsense, having fun, luxuriating. Go with that wild idea. Check and see how your audience feels about it. Do some research about it. Be willing to take a risk. And if that doesn't work, that's okay. You move on to the next thing. Just remember, would you look at some favorite one-hit wonder of yours, and to get that one-hit wonder, I bet you they produced at least 50 songs, if not more, which took a lot of time, creative energy, a lot of disappointment, fail after fail, but they had that one hit, right? Same with people with books. They have usually one or two books. My coach, Kara Elwell, who I now coach, she shared with me that it's really her one book, Girl on Fire. That Girl Code and Girl on Fire, 2 books out of the 9 she's written are what really makes her the money. And she wrote 9 and published 9. But she was willing to keep writing books until one hit. Same, I just read an article on, I think it's James Patterson, if I'm saying his name correctly. Some insane amount of books. It was something crazy. And he only has, it's the same rule, 10% of his books are making him 90% of the money. And he's a mega, multi-millionaire. So just keep remembering that principle and how that works so that you don't get so discouraged when something's a flop. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.